Like, you are literally staring in the face of a fucking man who is slapped in the face with a bunch of evidence and had their whole worldview 180'd.
Yeah, it's such a 180 that you're back here 3 days later because you really don't give a fuck. There's no penance from you. You don't care. You're a narcissist. That's the only reason why you're back here.
Kaylee, I appreciate you for the $12 on Venmo. Dude, if I didn't care, why the fuck are you still on my live?
Because I've been waiting to tell you this.
I care to the extent of hearing out like MAGA droids.
No, you care.
Thank you so much for the one. You care
because for the past 4 days you haven't been on here and you've been losing money. You just made almost $3,000 in the past 2.5 hours I've been on.
The first time you said it was 2,000.
Well, now yeah, it's still going up, ain't it? You're still getting donations, ain't you?
So I just want to. So your baseline assumption here is if you make money, you're thereby a grifter. Is Donald Trump a grifter because he's been funded like I don't know $500 million through private seed funders?
Dude, that's a campaign. You're not.
I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. So if it's a political campaign, it's not a grift. So Charlie Kirk, he's funded privately. Is he
I don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. I'm not talking to Charlie Kirk. I'm talking to you. I don't care about Tim Pool, Charlie Kirk.
But is he a grifter?
I don't know. I don't follow him. I don't care for him.
Okay, so you're saying that you don't have sufficient information to come to the conclusion that Charlie Kirk is a grifter, even though it is the case that he is funded given private donations, but then you try to assert the claim that I'm a grifter as I am funded by private donations.
You are. You're a bad dude, man.
Lauren, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love.
Dude, you're one of the worst creatures walking on two legs, man. You are a grifter, a con man, a racist, a homophobe. You are everything you claim every Republican is. And you yourself are those things.
Okay, is Trump a racist? Let's see your consistency. I just want to see your consistency, Bailey.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
See, that's your fucking issue, dude. Like, holy shit. This is why I know that. One moment. This is why I know that you're a bad faith actor.
I grew up in New York, and my entire childhood, all I witnessed for every time you turned on the news, there was Donald Trump, and there was the NAACP, there was Al Sharpton, there was Jesse Jackson.
The $10 on Venmo.
There were all these influencers coming from the black communities, hat in hand, asking for donations. They even gave that man a humanitarian award. It wasn't until he came down that escalator that he was a racist. Stop your shit, man. I'm 54 years old. I lived in New York my whole life. That man was never a racist until he came down that escalator. Oprah Winfrey loved him.
He like
Behar loved him.
But he like denied housing. Like he denied like
he did
housing.
not.
Yeah.
How about Jennifer Hudson?
You could see one moment. One moment, let me speak. You could read the civil litigation held against him in 1973 for denying housing opportunity.
And it was thrown out.
It was not thrown out. In fact, they settled. Okay, right. Then you could also learn about the fact that he called for the death penalty for the Central Park Five after they'd been exonerated.
Don't bring that up because you don't know what you're talking about.
He called all black people lazy, right?
No,
in 1991.
No, he did not.
He said that Obama shouldn't be able to run for president because he was born in Kenya, even though he has a birth certificate in Hawaii, trying to take opportunity away from a black man because of the color of his skin. He referenced black jobs, the whole lie about what's going on in Springfield, demonizing legal Haitian migrants, saying that they're not supposed to be here.
There's two things I want to rebut here. Ready?
Saying that migrants are poisoning the blood of our country.
Dude, you brought up the Central Park Five. Okay, you know who's responsible for that? The DA who was prosecuting that case. The DA hid information, didn't call specific witnesses. As a matter of fact, I believe he got disbarred after the fucking case.
Yeah, the DA was also engaging in racism.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because the DA led everybody in the city was calling for those kids' heads because of
Danielle,
the DA.
I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Danielle. I appreciate that. So out of all those examples, you don't think that would make
you're
Trump
not letting me finish. Why won't you let me finish?
Thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Go for it.
All right, you brought up the Central Park Five. I just debunked that, okay? The entire city was calling for the heads of those kids.
Wait, just because a lot of people are individually engaging
in the actions of the DA.
Mike, you understand that just because a lot of people are engaging in racism doesn't discount the racism of one. Like I'm going to say that like the first person to own a slave was as racist as the last.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Now, with this case coming up that's in the New York appellate against Trump, it looks like it's going to get thrown out and he's going to get all his money back. You've been calling him a fraudster, a convicted fraudster. When that gets turned over, you're going to take those words back and apologize?
I talk about like the.
That's my question. Yes, it's a yes or no.
Mike, no, you're saying that I'm up here saying shit that I haven't. I don't talk about in the fraud case.
You called him a fraudster. You called him a fraudster
for defrauding people, right, within Trump University on top of lying to all American citizens, right, and trying to defraud them out of their votes in 2020 when he tried to rig the outcome of the election with the use of fake slates of electorates.
Yeah, okay. He tried to rig it, okay.
He did. We know this. We have emails from the DOJ. We have Bill Barr resigning because Trump tried to pressure him into falsely announcing widespread voter fraud. We have the fake certificate of ascertainments that he wanted his fake slates of electorates to send to Congress. We have January 6 indictments in the Supreme Court where Donald Trump and his legal representation has admitted to trying to change the outcome of the election. And Cammy, thank you for the $20 on PayPal. St. Dean is back. I appreciate you for the love. Yeah, like of course, man. Man, dude, like holy fucking shit. Like, why is the MAGA worldview so decrepit and vile to the extent of politicizing me?
Dude, because you brought this on yourself. You put yourself in this spotlight.
Gloriani, I appreciate you for the $100 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Let's get some massive W's for Gloriani in the chat. Thank you so much.
You're at 3,100 now, and it's not a grift, right?
Yo,
Anyway.
Jaden, hell yeah, where are you at, Jaden? Let's
You
talk about
put
it.
yourself in the
W's for Gloriani in the chat. I appreciate you for the $100. It means a lot to me.
You put yourself in these shoes you're wearing now. You said those things. You wrote them. The internet is forever, my dude. And you put it out for the world to see, and now you think you deserve different consequences than anybody else.
No, Mike,
Hey, how are you?
I'm not faulting you for finding.
You guys gonna fucking gang up on me here now?
Hey, gang! Is it because I'm black? You're calling it a gang now?
I don't know.
I just wanted you to talk to
how am I supposed to know if you're black or white, my dude?
my picture.
I can't see your picture, bro.
Things you cannot simultaneously say that it's an issue for Dean to make past remarks and then in real time disparage and discredit and lie about black people on this live here. So another lie that you had mentioned was that Donald Trump was given multiple civil rights awards from black leaders. That never happened. You're referring to the Ellis Island Award of Freedom, which is given to children of migrants in the state of New York. Donald Trump did not make any substantial contributions for the black community that he was awarded for. So I just want you to be honest about these things if you
about
can.
everything. I lived in New York my whole life. I know what I saw.
You should know.
Every day.
He was not given a civil rights award by black leaders.
Yeah, he was given a humanitarian award.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was.
What award?
A humanitarian award.
What
It's
award?
covered all over the place, but you guys don't want to believe that.
This picture, I know the pictures of him at the Ellis Island Award of Freedom in the 1980s. He's with Rosa Parks, right?
And who was giving him the award?
No one gave him that award, and it wasn't for civil rights.
But there's no pictures of Jesse Jackson giving him
There's
any.
a picture. Just because he has pictures of him with black people doesn't make him not racist.
Oh, okay.
And you should hear what Jesse Jackson and other prominent civil rights leaders have to say about him today.
Oh,
You
yeah,
think they would be okay? Do you think they'd be okay with his cavalier excusal of the Congressional Black Caucus or the disparaging comments? Excuse me.
No,
Think
you
they'd be
excuse
fine with
me.
the disparaging comments that he'd make about Martin Luther King or calling people Martin Luther King on steroids?
What?
What?
Yeah,
Who's
I
running
said
for governor in North Carolina? A racist. A literal self-avowed black Nazi. He referred to him in good terms as Martin Luther King on steroids.
Doesn't sound racist to me.
Pretty
that's
awful,
racist.
isn't it?
That's racist, calling somebody Martin Luther King on.
Comparing a fucking anti-Semite to Martin Luther King.
Was that before or after that news came out?
Before what? He's
Before the-
always been a Holocaust denier. He knows that. He hasn't. This isn't a secret towards
The
that
first I heard
candidate,
of
towards
it
Robinson.
recently. It was first I heard of it recently.
This has been out for years.
No.
Public statements about his outright denial of the Holocaust. And for him to compare him to one of the most significant civil rights leaders shows how little he knows about the plight of Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement.
You guys are fucking clowns. You really are.
Yes. Reduce yourself to insults because you have no rebuttal.
Because it's true.
Is you speaking for me and criticizing people and refusing to hone in on your side when it is much, much, much worse. That's the issue I have with you, is the hypocrisy.
The issue I have with you is that you're defending a racist.
You don't even know me. I'm not defending a racist. That's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
Dean is a racist.
Dean is not a
He's
racist.
He used the N-word with a hard R. He is a racist.
Where's that claim coming from?
Yeah.
It's on all over the internet, Dean.
I don't know. I say let people of color be the arbiters of who is or isn't a racist.
Oh.
Does that sound fair?
The
people who are affected, the people who are on the receiving ends of these comments, I think should be the ones speaking out on that.
Because I'm not black, I can't call somebody a racist.
I'd say that's a fair statement to make
That's
because
the
you
most
are inherently
ridiculous
racist.
Statement. That is
Why
the
is
most
it?
ridiculous statement. First of all, don't call me a
Why?
racist, my man. I'm a fucking veteran.
My man, if you're willing to defend the racist on your side, then what does that make you?
Does that go for every white liberal who defends it?
White liberals defending racism are racist, yes.
Oh, make sure they all know that now.
They're not defending Dean's comments, though.
Next time a white
No one is
liberal comes up-
defending Dean's comments and saying, well, he was in his right. You guys do that constantly, by the way. Remember that woman on TikTok who got fired from her job for using the N-word with a hard R on a live? You guys rallied behind her.
Not
You guys
me.
made her.
Wait,
You guys
wait,
made her
wait.
a martyr.
Don't
You guys
let me-
platformed her. We
Like I
don't
said,
do that.
Don't lump me in with those people. I am not those people, my
Am
man.
I wrong to say that you
I've
guys
never used
ardently
the N-word.
support the
I've
people who
never-
are the most
I've-
racist
hold
on this
on,
app?
I've
I've
never
seen no
used-
criticism on your side
I've
for the
never used that word.
excuse me. I've
No,
seen
you
zero
keep
criticism for the
talking
people on
over
your
me.
side that defend the N-word to its strength. Okay?
Those people are fucking trash.
Those people are on the right. They're your side, and you're not condemning
There are
them.
People on you guys are defending.
No one
Slurs.
on our side is defending
You're
slurs.
defending Dean.
No, there's a difference
And those
between
who are
defense and
donating to
accountability.
him, and those
Your side
who are
doesn't
sending him
understand that.
donations, and those who are sending him donations are definitely condoning his behavior.
Mike,
I'm telling you right now what you do. You hold yourself accountable to a point. And then the minute you take accountability for it, you go ahead and just go off on the fucking Republicans. That's not taking accountability, Dean. It's called deflection.
Dean and I talked. Okay,
I don't give
we
a
had
fuck.
a few minutes to talk. We spoke about this.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sitting
willing.
alive listening to it.
No. Listen. Okay, the problem that I have here, and with everyone that's come up so far that has thought like you, is the fact that you guys try to appropriate other people's outrage. You're not a part of the communities that were affected by that. You have no say in this conversation. Let me, as someone who was and has talked to Dean so far, speak on this. Okay, I'm not going to criticize someone for a stupid thing they said or did when they were in their teens. Everybody's been there. Donald Trump and the Republicans excuse it well into their nearly 80th year in life.
Oh, well, that's bullshit too.
What's bullshit about that?
That we condone it. We don't condone that.
You do.
Not at
When's the
all.
last time
If
you've
I
condemned
condone-
someone on the right for
if I
racial
condoned it-
statements?
if I
Excuse me.
condoned it-
When is the last time you have condemned someone on the right for racially charged statements?
Whenever I hear it.
I also
When?
just want to add
Whenever
on
I hear
there.
it.
I think it's okay to like criticize it regardless of the age, but more so just point out like the growth afterwards.
See, that's the thing, Ian. You want compassion, empathy. These are two qualities you don't possess.
No, Mike.
You have no right.
What I'm
you
saying.
have no right to ask for compassion, forgiveness, or empathy because you don't offer it to anybody else.
I think I don't think that I am expecting forgiveness.
That's what
and
this whole thing
compassion.
is, Chris. This is
But
you doing an
do you mind
apology
if I
tour.
finish? I'm not placing an expectation on anyone watching the live right now, especially members of the Black and LGBTQ plus community, to empathize, forgive, and forget. No, in fact, I think that it would be incredibly valid, especially for members of those communities, to stop supporting me. Okay? But what I am saying here is that I have made change within myself evidently clear, and I have been advocating for that same change in others. Like, let me.
Dean, you would condemn and cancel anybody who used the words that you used. You do it every day. You're quick to call out others. And now here you are on this apology tour. I didn't mean to say it. I was young. It was the wrong thing to say.
One second.
No.
You understand that's not been my approach to the situation.
It most certainly is. I've been listening to you for 3.5 hours
You're
now.
listening in bad faith.
Oh, no. There's only one way
I've
to
clarified
You
this.
said what you said, right?
I've clarified this entire live, right? That no, we shouldn't be apologetic on the basis of the fact that I engaged in the use of slurs at a young age, because then that turns around and promotes the social ideal that it is okay and or slightly more permissible for teenagers to engage in the use of slurs.
Dean, if you-
I
if you were
think that there
genuine-
is black teenagers today that experience racism from white classmates, right? White people in their same school, in their town, right? And the white person engages in those actions on the basis that, oh, it's okay for them because they're young and immature. What can we do? No, I don't stand for that.
Why
at
do you
all.
keep muting me?
I think that those actions were disgusting and deplorable, even in relation to the age that I was when I engaged them.
But see, if you
What
were
I've been saying
genuine,
this
you would
entire
stop
time.
bringing up
Look,
your age.
just 1 second, Mike. I would have a bigger issue with this whole conversation, and this doesn't apply to just Dean, but anyone, if they heard the criticisms that people levied against them and doubled down on them and said, no, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm not going to change a thing. Dean has shown the absolute opposite of that. He's willing to listen. He's willing to have these conversations, which, albeit difficult, need to be had. I frequently do not see that when it comes to the very people you're willing to support here.
The only reason why he's doing it is because he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That's the only reason why.
And why have I been talking about my past use of slurs for 8 months?
But and here's the thing, Dean. Every time you mention it, you got to throw in "when I was young." Like it's a defense. It's not a defense. You said it. You said the most.
No,
foul things
it's
you
necessary
said.
context to add because
No, it's
people
not.
like you exist. I've already seen
You
misconstructions.
use the
No,
words,
one
you
moment,
say it because
Mike.
you
Mike,
want people to
Mike.
think you didn't mean.
You understand that is necessary, like context to add because people like you exist, and that like
Here's
you
the
don't
thing.
care.
What disinformation are you talking about? You said it. It's not disinformation.
Disinformation about individuals saying that these are words that I currently use, about literally making fake screenshots, about making fake claims, drawing false conclusions from half-truths, disinformation and manipulation, right, from a lot of people on the right that take away from the genuine conversations that should be held around these things.
Dean, it's not disinformation if you said it.
Bro, that's a
My
thing,
God,
though.
that is not up for dispute. Okay, it's whether or not he recognizes what was said was wrong and whether or not he's changed from that. It's called accountability. We do not believe in canceling people for these mistakes here. It's about recognizing and exposing people when they're wrong and asking them to do better. That's all. You guys don't do that.
What, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. When have you? Again, my question lies. When was the last time you called out someone on the right for racial slurs?
Whenever I see it,
When was that? When is the last time? Be specific.
I don't know.
Because it's a hell of a lot more. I can guarantee you that.
I honestly can't tell you the last time I saw it. But if I
Okay.
did,
How about the man running for senator in Idaho?
who's that?
Let me get his name real quick. Dan Foreman. said to a Native American woman, "Go back to where you came from"?
I know nothing about him.
I just told you.
All right, well, if he said that, he's a scumbag.
If he said it, he said it. Oh my God, this is exactly my point. When people call out your side, there's this hesitancy, this wishy-washiness, this excusatory behavior towards it. It happened. It's documented. It was live. He told a Native American woman, "Go back to where they came from." That is one example. It shouldn't be that difficult.
I'll say it. He should not be running for office. He should not be forgiven for it. Just like Dean shouldn't be forgiven for what he said.
Should Trump be forgiven towards saying that Obama was born in Kenya because of the color of his skin?
That's not a racist thing.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, saying that the first black president is ill-equipped and unqualified to run because of their skin color is racist.
Did he say that because of his skin?
That's the inference. That's what we call microaggressions. That's what we call dog whistles.
What he was saying was
that is what we call dog whistles.
To run for president. That's what he was saying.
He was a citizen, though.
Well, somebody had a dispute about it. I don't know.
No one had a dispute about it. He ran for state senate.
Purdy, I appreciate you for the 25 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Purdy. Thank you for the 25 gifted subs. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you.
Like I said, I don't know where Obama was born, and nor do I care.
Yes, we do. He was born in Honolulu.
Oh, fine then. That's good. Yay for him.
Great. And it should be wrong for anyone to suggest otherwise.
Did he learn how to surf while he was there?
Shut up. Is it wrong that Donald Trump said that he was not born in America?
I don't see that being racist.
That is why I say that you're ill-equipped to have this conversation. If you cannot call out your side when it is grossly evident and apparent what is racist and how it's racist, then you cannot speak on this conversation.
Dean should be canceled.
Should be canceled. I thought you didn't believe in cancel culture.
You're voting for a fucking rapist.
When it comes to racism, yeah, man.
You don't care about that. That's very clearly not your line. It only applies to when it's on the left.
No. I just told you the guy in Ohio.
You don't care about the thousands of racially charged comments that Trump has made.
What? Tell me when he's made. Come on. Other
he
than
just did.
In Kenya. Stop.
He suggested that 4 black congresswomen go back to where they came from. He called them shithole countries. He called Detroit and other predominantly black neighborhoods rat-infested shitholes.
Are they?
He disparaged the Congressional Black Caucus. He called John Lewis an idiot. The man who marched with Dr. King.
Well, is he an idiot?
No.
How do you know that? Do you know him personally?
Do you know Trump personally? Christ.
No. I don't. According to you on the left, everybody's more intelligent than Donald Trump, right?
Most people are more intelligent than Donald Trump.
Why? Because he's a white man running for president?
Anyways, no. It has nothing to do with his race. Why bring race into it, remember?
Because that's what you guys do. That's what this whole thing is about right now.
You're doing that here. You should not have a problem with people on the left making racial statements and then excuse it when it comes to your side, when it comes to the man you're voting for.
Sometimes I got to tell you, I don't excuse it on my side. I condemn those.
You just did. You just said, well, that's not racist, when the lone black person in this conversation is telling you
but that's your feeling.
That's saying someone that's suggesting someone who is a duly elected individual and a citizen should not be eligible to run. That's racist because he doesn't apply this to any other person.
Are you sure about that?
I am absolutely sure.
Anyway, let's go.
Who was the last major presidential candidate he said wasn't born in America?
I don't know. Because all of them have been. All of them have been.
Just like Obama.
And I agreed with you.
Then it should be racist and wrong of him to say otherwise.
Yeah. Well, do you think that trying to take away opportunity from a black man because they're a black man is racist?
Who is taking away the opportunity?
That comes next. That's step 2, buddy. You just got to answer step 1.
Just answer that first, Bert.
I'm giving you my answer. Okay?
Fuck, dude. Holy shit.
A black man. We've had a black president.
Hey, that's not the question.
That's not the goddamn question.
Just in general.
Yeah, nobody should be taking opportunities away from anybody.
So if a white man tries to take opportunity away from a black man because they're black, is that an example of racism?
Who's doing it?
Dude, answer my goddamn question.
Yeah, it would be racist.
Thank you. Was it that fucking hard? Okay. So when
your
Donald
question is a loaded question.
So when
it's really not.
So when Donald Trump tries to take the opportunity for Obama to run for president away from him by instantiating that he was born in Kenya with the only reason existing the color of his skin, that is racism.
Okay. This is the most.
Appreciate you for the subscription.
And you're just
it's like you're not even trying to understand why it's racist.
Because it's not.
Why is it not?
Because it's not. It's simply
no. Explain why it's not.
Because it's not. There were questions.
Stop. That's called a thought-terminating fallacy.
There were questions all around.
Were those questions racist? Yes.
No,
you're not explaining how it's not racist.
But they were legitimate concerns about the authenticity of his birth certificate. That's all.
Yes, racially charged concerns.
To you, they're racist.
This was not a question. This was not a question when he was a state senator. This was not a question during his Harvard application. This was not a question towards any kind of job that he applied for or was elected to.
What's your name?
You can read.
I don't have my glasses on. I can't see it. What's
Jaden.
Jaden. So what you're suggesting here is that anybody who questions a black man's heritage is racist, correct?
For the reasons that they're doing it, yes.
But Dean is not a racist for breaking out the N-word, right?
No, that was racism. Yes.
That was racist.
That was racism. That was racist.
You
Mike,
are a racist.
Mike,
No,
Mike,
because Dean has committed himself to actively deconstructing said racism. Okay, he has
course
put
he's
himself on the line. He's had himself open to these
apologized.
conversations. If he was the opposite of that and was obstinate, like your fucking people, then that would be
Your fucking
racist. Dean would be a racist for that.
Yeah, like
That's not the case.
If we
Would I
if
be
we-
here if Dean was a racist?
If
The
we were
only
to
reason
go
why
in,
he's a- the
Mike,
only
if we
reason
were
why
if we
he's
were to take
apologizing
a
is
Mike,
because he was
if Mike,
caught.
if we were to take a time machine, right, back to 2019, and you got out of that time machine, if you said Dean is a racist, you would have been right.
You still are.
Okay, so
How does one not become racist?
Listen, according to you guys,
I just want to know, how does one not become
Hold
racist
on.
if Trump
Let me say
isn't?
my piece. You guys have been going on for an hour. According to you guys, once a racist, always a racist. And
I've
two,
never, ever
was a
held that
racist, and therefore he
No,
will
stop.
always be a racist.
I do not believe that, and most black people
And
don't
the
believe
fact
that.
that-
and that's also like antithetical to the purpose of my live. Like my live is to deconstruct bigotry and to get people to act in accordance
Because
with
you
a
got caught.
with it with it. No, that's just literally the purpose of my live since I began going live on TikTok is to deconstruct bigotry and to get people to start changing and to act in accordance with norms that will make society as a whole better off for more people. Right. The point of my live is for people to change. Right. If I thought that people can't change, I wouldn't be a TikTok streamer. I wouldn't be a political and a social activist and debater. Like the only reason I think people can change is because I did, man. Donna.
You believe that only you are capable of change. Nobody else. Just you.
That's like literally
No
the
one ever
opposite of what I just
suggested
said.
that.
I actually, quite frankly, just said the opposite of that. Wow.
Dean,
Holy
I've
shit.
heard some people say one thing and you go on about it for months and months.
Could you give me
and
an
months.
example?
But now that you've been caught,
Give me an
can't.
example.
now that you've
Wait,
been
one second.
caught,
Mike, give me an example.
I'm not gonna-
Yeah, give me an example of someone saying one thing, then me going on for it about months and months and months, even though they changed. Give me an example. Unmute your mic. Feel free to give it.
You want us to forgive you.
No example?
Dude, and like I said, anytime somebody says something that you don't agree with, you want them canceled.
Like who?
Anybody.
Just
Give me an
name
Anybody on the right.
instance.
Leanne, I appreciate you for the
Anybody?
$25 on
Yeah,
Venmo.
yeah,
Thank you for the
anybody.
love, Leanne. Thank you
Anybody.
for Leanne in the
Anybody.
chat with the $25.
Has he tried to
on Venmo.
cancel
Thank you for the
Candace
$5 on Venmo.
Why would he cancel Candace Owens?
because she's anybody.
Clone, thank you for the subscription.
Probably.
If I tried
She
to
said
cancel,
something he didn't like.
Probably.
If she said something he
So
didn't
now it's an if. You said in the assertive that he did do this.
he did.
Give an instance.
yeah.
I can't
Now you're
think of one
arguing
off the top of my
hypothetical.
head. Dude, anytime a Republican says something that Dean doesn't
Like
like,
when?
every time.
Persona, just listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Okay? The purpose of my lives is just to get people to be better by showing them that you can be better with the abstraction of critical thought. That's all. I all that I advocate for is for people to be better informed, A, and then to make better decisions with the use of rationale and logic based upon that information. That is the whole basis of my platform.
Okay.
And if individuals engage with that platform in good faith, and they're exposed to new information that they didn't know prior, right, and then they now act in accordance with that new information, that's beautiful.
I think the issue that I have is people finding fault in one trying to deconstruct their past and hone in on that and recognize what they did was wrong. The fact that anybody would say that that's a bad thing and worthy of canceling somebody shows that they don't actually care about black people. They don't actually care about racism. It's only when it applies to the other side and when it's for canceling someone they disagree with politically. They don't believe in accountability. You don't care when black people voice their concerns about Donald Trump or the people that are doing an litany of things that go against their rights, their voting rights, their autonomy, their safety. You don't care about those things. You don't care about those concerns. It's only when it applies to someone you disagree with.
No, I see. You don't know me, and you're acting like you do. But
I know
go
enough.
ahead. Yeah,
I know enough, and I've
I'm
given you
sure
examples. You don't care that black people are concerned at the fact that Donald Trump and his history of racism and racist appointees bothers them, frightens them, frightens us.
Oh, but you weren't frightened by Joe Biden's fucking racist past?
Who was he appointed in this administration?
I don't know.
Are they racist? Does he have the most white administration?
Hanging out with Robert?
No,
Biden
he's
is
got a
racist?
pretty... He surrounds himself... This is what I just said, is that he's willing to take account for his past actions and surround himself
Well, how
with
is he-
people that know better,
Oh,
with people that can recognize his fault and try to work together in a way that benefits people. I don't see why you guys excuse Donald Trump's nearly all-white administration only had about 2% people of color in there, hardly any women.
Because to us, color
So
doesn't
no,
matter.
Joe Biden's
Color doesn't
actions
matter
are
about
not
the job.
excusable, but
The
his
ability
approach to the
do the
future,
job.
his way of building bridges and deconstructing those faults and trying to bridge the divide is what I can give him credit for.
Listen,
Drew,
can
thank you for
defend
the $50 on Venmo. I appreciate you, Drew.
3,500.
W's for Drew in the chat. Thank you
Bro,
so much.
why are you obsessed?
And Max,
Because
thanks
Get a better
for
job.
$10
It goes
on
back to
Venmo.
my original point.
And Levi,
He's
thank you
here
so
Get a
much.
better job then.
He's here for the money. He's here to be disingenuous. He is the worst creature walking on two legs.
All right, so
The worst
racist.
creature. No, shut
really?
up. I've had enough of this.
I
This is-
know you
that's
have,
so-
right?
wait.
Because it's true.
so I'm worse than Hitler?
You're up there.
What the
Up there
fuck?
with Hitler.
You could be her. You could be his kid.
So the Holocaust denial
What the hell?
Republicans are just as bad then, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
the
Are you
fuck?
gonna name any of them? You gonna call them out? You
Did
gonna
you
visit
just-
their lives?
Did you really just say that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
you think that Hitler should be killed? Like, if Hitler was like lived World War II, that he should have been killed because of how bad he was?
He should have been shot on sight.
So if I'm up there, should I be shot on sight?
I'm not going to say that. You know, that's a loaded question. You're going to get me in trouble there, big dog.
So if you can't say no,
No, he shouldn't be shot.
Should I be in
Okay.
prison for the rest of my life?
Probably. Once it comes out that you're a grifter or a con man or a fraud. Yeah.
so you're president.
What president is it?
Literally all
Joe
of them.
Biden- Joe
but
Biden's not a
Donald
con man
Trump.
and a grifter?
Con
Joe
man,
Biden hasn't
right?
made millions of
Adjudicated con man, adjudicated fraud, defrauded children's cancer charities. You would want him in the Hague then, right?
Just like I want Joe Biden in the Hague.
What fucking charity did Joe Biden defraud?
Joe Biden took $27 million
From who?
from overseas, from Russia,
Where?
Ukraine,
Where?
China.
Where?
Russia,
Where's this
Ukraine,
proven?
China.
Where's it proven?
Dude,
Yeah,
the-
and all
like
the- and 12 bank
Mike,
accounts they got.
Mike, you understand
Doesn't
that,
have
like,
12.
like the theatrics and like the like obviously like politically driven claims that you're making about me like actively undermine real good faith conversation.
Dean, I didn't
You
do
understand
this to you.
that, right?
Do you understand that you did this to yourself? You used racially charged verbiage.
I don't understand.
You
I don't think you understood what I
verbiage.
said. No, I don't think you understood what I just said. What I said was when you come up here and you are like saying what you are because of politically driven nonsense, right? Saying that like I'm comparable to Hitler, right? And then when Jaden gives you an example of literally like anything racist in Trump's character, all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Like that takes away from like actual conversation that we should be having related to the issue. You know that, right?
Dean, when you know what takes away from the issue is
You.
the fact that 1 minute you admit what you did was wrong, then you immediately
Because it
turn
was
around
wrong.
blame
It was
blame
worse
it on
than
your
wrong. It
age.
was racist.
You blame it on your
You
age.
didn't blame it.
You blame it
Context.
on
I've,
his age.
I've clarified like 7 times now
If
that
you
I
guys aren't gonna let
actually
me
don't.
finish that-
I've
what's the
clarified
subject?
like 7 times now that I actually don't think that we should be saying that is okay because of the age. In fact, this is something that I've been clarifying in my Discord for the last 5 days. Alton, I appreciate you for the $10. You understand that like you are actively engaging in defamation of character
How is it defamation when you've said
because
it?
you're saying things that are factually incorrect.
No, it's true. That's why you're
But
here.
you're arguing that he's not apologized for this,
You-
or that he still is a racist and says these things.
According to you guys, once a racist, always a racist.
When
This has
have
been your
either of
motto
us
for
ever
life.
said that?
This has been your motto for the past 10
No,
years.
no.
Once a
My
racist,
motto,
always a racist.
my motto is once a racist, the next day accountability. Not always a
yeah.
racist.
Right.
No. Okay, let's get things straight. If you say something or did something racist, I think there ought to be room for you to grow, and I will afford you that opportunity. If you're obstinate and resistant to that, then yes, you would be a racist.
And it's like, you understand that if the left upheld this ideal that once a racist, always a racist, this would be in direct contradiction, right, to other ideals of the left, such as the idea that we want to promote change in people in society as a whole to be less racist. Like when you promote like the slogan, once a racist, always a racist, you remove all incentivization for racists to have character growth because you are thereby saying that it doesn't matter if they do. Right? In fact, I feel like members of the Republican Party saying that once a racist, always a racist, this is what the left wants, you're just actively actively advocating for more people to remain complacent with their racism because there's no incentive not to be a racist.
Oh, good God Almighty! That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
For the last 8 months.
Dean, you should never have to talk about it. You should never have to apologize because it never should have happened. It never should have been said.
I agree with you, Mike. It never should have been said. 110%. I'm not
But
sitting
you
here
did it.
defending my past
But you
actions.
did it.
110%.
But you did it. And then after you admit to doing it, you say, as I was younger. It's not an excuse.
And you're back to the
He's
same
not.
bullshit.
Oh my God.
Exactly. That's what
You're-
I'm
you're
saying.
back to the same bullshit.
No. Shut the fuck up. You're following
Okay.
older
Yes,
millennial,
sir.
AFF. Who are you following? people
I
that
don't follow
have
anybody.
gone on. No. Yes, you are. People who have gone at length to make racially charged statements. I just viewed your profile, okay? I know who you follow. I know who you hang around, who you endorse. You co-sign this shit. Don't say that it's an
No, I
issue
don't.
now.
I don't
It's because someone you disagree with. Have you heard some of the shit coming out of these people's mouths? Called a
my God.
Muslim woman ISIS and an ISIS-K defender.
Who's that?
Said that the disabled should be thrown off mountains.
Who said that?
Older millennial.
I never heard him say it.
This
but
is,
if he
oh
did,
my, you're following him.
I don't want, dude. You think I'm on here all day, every day?
You're on here enough to know who he is.
I know who he is, yeah, but I didn't hear him say
Right.
that.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Ah, you gonna call him out?
Yeah, fuck that
You
guy.
gonna unfollow him?
Fuck that guy. Yeah, I'll unfollow
You gonna
him.
unfollow him?
Yeah. Are you
Go
going
do
to
it now.
unfollow Dean? Are
No,
you
go
going
do
to
it now.
unfollow Dean?
No, because the difference is he never fucking apologized. He never said, no, I was in the wrong. In fact, he doubled down and said that people like Dean, Harry, and Parker should be the ones thrown off that mountain.
It's okay to be racist as long as you apologize. I'm going to write that down.
No!
Yes.
That's
yes.
not what I said.
You just said that.
When did I say that?
Just now.
No, it is not okay to be racist. It is okay that you hold yourself accountable for that.
Oh, okay.
That's
It's
a
okay to be-
big,
it's okay to be
clear
racist
difference.
As long as I hold myself
Racism is always
Got
bad
it.
until
Got
you recognize that it is racist and actively try to deconstruct and avoid it and prevent it and stop it in all forms. That's the difference. You don't understand nuance. You're a simple-minded fucking troglodyte and don't understand these larger concepts that you don't apply yourself to.
Is what I was going to say. I was racist when I was younger. I was exposed to the necessary means, right, to deconstruct my racism. And I now try to expose others to those same means, streaming on TikTok. Did I make a good decision after that deconstruction when I decided to stream on TikTok to share that same education with others?
I don't know. You tell me.
Answer my question. Am I doing a good thing right now by streaming?
What I think you're doing,
No. Answer the question very directly.
I'm answering it. What I think you're doing is covering your ass.
Okay, that's
Because you fucked up royally.
answer my question. Did I make a good decision when I started streaming? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay.
You did this to cover your ass because you fucked up royally.
Yeah,
And
there's
you
your
don't
issue.
want-
And
and
there's
you
your
don't
issue.
want
So
any
you just
more
said
bad-
you just said that it is a bad thing to expose thousands of people to education to deconstruct racism.
The only reason why you're even discussing this is because you got caught for being a fucking racist.
Evan, I appreciate you so much for the greetings card.
What part of this aren't you getting?
We've already went over that point 5 times.
Dude, you're a bad dude.
I've been speaking about my past use of slurs. I've been speaking about my support for Trump, the Republican Party, and Andrew Tate for months. You could literally
Andrew Tate's
go
a fucking slime ball too.
You could literally go on my Discord and read an announcement that I put out about this 8 months
I'm not on Discord. I don't give a
I don't think he's going to listen, man. To be honest, I think you're far too gone from this conversation and so obstinate in your belief. Not good.
Yeah, and dude, it's like the obvious like constructed fake outrage from people like Mike takes away
Right.
from like the important like real conversations that could be held.